right, guys, moving on to the notes for page 14. This was supposed to be done as an activity in a group. However, due to the fact that we're not together, right, being social, practicing social distancing, we're going to do this as a note. However, I would strongly encourage you to try and find some of these objects around your house and send me photos of them. I think that'd be really cool to see how many different types of objects we can find that are either a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, a cylinder, or a cone, okay? But for right now, we are going to fill in the table to describe the geometric nets, okay? So the number of faces for a rectangular prism is 6. For a triangular prism, there is 5. For a cylinder, there is 3. And for a cone, this is an argument amongst a lot of mathematicians, but for right now, we're going to say 2. Okay. Number of each type of face. So there are 3 times 2 rectangles. Okay. And I'll explain this more when we get to the nets, actually looking at the nets, what I mean by 3 times 2. A triangular prism, there are 3 rectangles and 2 triangles. A cylinder, there are 2 circles and 1 rectangle. And for a cone, there's 1 circle and 1 slanted surface. Okay, the area formula for each. So this would be length times width for all of the rectangles. For a rectangle, it's length times width. And for a triangle, it's base times height divided by 2. Okay, circle is pi times radius squared and length times width. For the circle, it's pi times radius squared. For your slanted surface, it is pi times, we don't really have an area formula. I guess you could say that it would be pi times radius times the slanted surface. Okay, so the formula for the surface area is 2 length times width plus 2 length times width plus 2 length times width. For your triangular prism, you have 3 length times width plus 2 base times height over 2. Okay? For your cylinder, you have 2 pi times radius squared plus 2 pi times radius height. Okay, so H stands for the height of the rectangle. Okay, and then here is your pi times radius times slant height. Okay, plus pi times radius squared. This is your area of a circle. Okay, so if I look down at this cone here, right, here's my circle. Okay, so this is going to give me my pi times radius squared, right, where radius is half of the diameter. And then here is my slant height. Okay, this is the slant height. Now, going down to my example 3, which would be cheaper to manufacture? A cylinder with a height of 15 inches and radius of 5 inches, or a cube with a height of 15 inches. So let's first do the cylinder, okay? So remember that in a cylinder, I have 2 circles. I got 2 of these, and I've got 1 rectangle. Okay, so to find the area of my cylinder, okay, surface area is 2 times pi radius squared plus 2 times pi radius height. Okay, so if I plug things in, I've got 2 times 3.14 times my radius is 5 inches. Okay, so times 5 squared plus 2 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 5, times my height, which is 15. Okay, and again, I can plug these things into my calculator. So I've got 5 squared, which is 25, okay, times 3.14 equals 78.5. So I've got 2 times 78.5 plus 3.14 times 5 times 15 equals 235.5. Okay, so I've got 471. 78.4 times 2 is 156.8. This is inches squared plus 471 is equal to 600. Let's move this up a little bit. 627.8 inches squared. And then going over to my cube now, okay, my cube is 6 equal squares. So I know that to find the surface area of a rectangular prism, okay, it's length times width plus length times width plus length times width. Because this is all the same, the height is 15 inches, okay? So it's basically 15 inches times 15 inches, okay? So I'm gonna go 15 times 15 is equal to 225, okay? So I can go 15 squared plus 15 squared plus 15 squared to follow the surface area of a rectangle, okay? Or I can simply go okay, if I follow this out, it would be 2 times 225 plus 2 times 225 plus 2 times 225. Okay, this is going to equal 1,350 inches squared. Okay, alternatively, I can go 15 squared, which is 225, times 6. Okay, because it is a cube and I know that all of them are the same, I don't have to calculate each pair of rectangles. I can simply go surface area is equal to 6 times 15 squared, which again is going to give me 1,350 inches squared. Okay, so looking at these two, the one that's going to be cheaper is going to be the cylinder. Okay, the cylinder is going to be cheaper to manufacture.